Namaste and hello. Thank you for dropping in. I'm nobody at all, and you can call me Kai. And if you are anything like me, you're curious about the experiences of others. What is it that others? How do they experience their life? Um, do they see the same colors as me? Things like that, that kind of stuff. Well, I want to share with you my experience with the experience of my life. This is the kind of like mm, the root of my life. And I invite you to play to just kind of play with it like it's a game. Try on the perspective if you can. It's really fun. And I've had a very unique and interesting experience. I've been watching this movie of my life happening, and it's really quite entertaining. And so the way that I figure this is the game. All right. Now I wear glasses, so I'm constantly aware of the frames of the glasses. And and I've trained myself to be aware of the frames of the glasses. I want to see those, be conscious of those in my view as I look out onto the world. And the reason why is because anything on that side of that frame is the reality television show of my life. Who I am is just this kind of generic nobody that I, I don't I don't adhere to anything really. It's like um, I don't really care what I'm doing. I just kind of go with the flow and see where it takes me. While I'm talking to you right now, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I enjoy the feel of the vibrations in my throat. And when I'm hanging out by myself, I don't get to enjoy that sensation because I don't like talking to myself out loud very often. But I do very much enjoy the sensations of the vibrations in the throat and the breath and things like that. And most of the time I have absolutely no idea what's coming out of my mouth. I don't really care. It's part of the movie of my life. Now, I don't direct the movie very much. It's kind of like this. Who I am, that root me, the thing that's doing the experiencing. I can be aware of my thoughts, right? So that means my thoughts aren't me because that's there. I can be aware of something out there. And so I can be aware of the act of thinking. So that's why I call it my thoughts. I own the darn things, right? So, because I'm that awareness that is aware of the thought, I think of that as the movie camera, kind of like these glasses. So if we think of the glasses or your eyes, or if you are a little more advanced, you want to go back to you are the awareness, because the awareness is the soul created the ego, and the ego is you. Or the spirit created the ego, and the ego is you. But the reason why it did that, never mind, that's a different topic. I'll get there. Don't worry. So anyway, when you look out into the world and anything that happens, just watch the movie. The people that come up and talk to you, well, you are playing a part. They're projecting a part onto you that is essential to their movie at that moment, because while their attention is on you, then that means the camera is on you. You are the star of that person's show. This phone right here is the star of my show, and I have this thought that somebody might watch it, and I'm connecting with that person in my mind, and whether anyone ever watches this or not, it's fun. So just practice, play with it. Can you look out at your world and all its sorrows and joys and loves and dramas and aches and pains and all of that stuff? Can you look out on it as though It is all just a reality television show. The people in your life are the actors in the show. Some of them realize that they are an actor to some degree or another. Others haven't really understood that yet. And you are an actor in their show. You're a performer. And whatever role that they cast on you, well, you keep being you, but do that to the best you possibly can, because they need you to be you in order to fulfill the role that you're playing in their life. That was good. Huh, neat. I don't, like I say, I don't listen to what's coming out. I just pay attention to the sensations. It's sometimes hearing this stuff, it's like, wow, where'd that come from? But yeah, so I am the awareness that I want to go back to the spirit creating ego. Okay, this describes my entire understanding of life, the universe, and everything. I want you to imagine, if you can, as best you can, a mist, an endless mist that is the palest color of whatever color you want to choose. I don't care. And all of it is equally the same color. There's no densities. There's no emptier spaces. It's all uniform. Okay. Everywhere you can imagine. Now imagine that that awareness that's paying attention to your thoughts, or in this case, listening to these words. There's something aware. You're listening to the words, you're getting the concept, but you can also be aware that you are hearing the words. You are actually having that act happening inside your body, which means that awareness. Okay, so now we're on the same track, maybe. And we get back to this infinite, universal, uniform mist. It is all equally aware. Everywhere. There is no point of awareness, because in order to have a point, there has to be something to compare it to, right? If there's nothing over here, then this doesn't exist. It's just, there's nothing to compare it to. It's gone. And so this mist is all equally aware, and it decides, oh, hey, wait a minute, I want to experience being alive. I want to experience what it's like to be, well, to have an experience, for one thing, because there's nothing other than me. There's nothing I can bounce on it. What's the sound of one hand clapping? What hand? That has to be a something, right? There has to be something over there for it to be a hand. So there's nothing there. It's all equally aware. So for some reason or another, it gets this idea, and who knows why, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me in the slightest. It gets this idea that says, oh, I'm going to forget that bits of myself so that I can actually have something to play with, and I can, have new experiences. This sounds like a good deal for me. So I don't know if it forgot that we are a part of it, or if that's just on our side, we forgot. And all of a sudden, the mist, the spirit, the awareness, created the ego. It created something else, this and that. Father, this, that which without anything else it wouldn't exist. But it's an awareness. That was cool too. And throwing myself off. That's ego inputting, Wow. I took that one right up the side of a cliff, man, and we were going up about 40 miles an hour, and we just flew right off the edge of the cliff, and down we fell until we went splat into the ravine below, but nobody got hurt. We all just got up and danced the night away. Are you paying attention yet? Anyway. So in the universe, creating the source, that loving awareness that is the mist of the color or whatever you chose. I notice I do that a lot. It's very fascinating to me. Energy, I believe. Ooh, maybe it's the vibration. Oh, anyway, so spirit creates the ego. It creates something other than itself. And in order to do this, in order for it to create something other than itself, it also has to create the space in between, that which differentiates itself from that which has been forgotten. Now, this is a voluntary amnesia, is basically what it is. And as science typically tells us, according to my understanding, amnesic patients typically start remembering things as they go along. Not always, I think, but it's a fairly common occurrence for them, for amnesic patients, some amnesic patients, to regain all of their memories. Well, that's what's happening with us, right? We are these bits of the universe that's coalesced in different forms, that allows the universe to form itself into a point in our heads. We have a point of view, but that point of view is actually spirit looking out. It's this body gives that awareness something to focus in on, so that it can actually have experiences. By me going like this, that's fascinating to me. It's like, okay, how'd I do that? And or you looking at this, it's all just, it's the universe having an experience, so that it could have an experience. Why not? What else is it going to do? Yeah. So what happens is everything that you're experiencing. Do you know what improv is? Improvisational acting. What it means. Improv means making shit up in the moment just for fun. That's what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes it can be a pretty bad thing. I try not to do that as much as possible, because I find that the audience don't, the movie turns dark at that point, really. I'm the audience. But the movie turns dark, so I try not to. But the thing is, see, I could be walking along minding my own business. I'm a 60-year-old man in pretty good health, and I have a fairly decent sized build. I walk with confidence and upright, and I have no problem stopping and standing and staring at yards if they're pretty or something like that. I'm a very outgoing individual. Most of the time, sometimes I'm a loner who just might wave, but other people project onto me who they think I am. I'm just being me. I'm just going with the flow, out walking the dog, enjoying the steps, the wind, and the bird chirping, and the cat that's over in the corner somewhere, or over in that driveway that won't come near because it's the little dog I'm walking. This is me. I'm just doing that. Nothing more. Nothing else is needed. It's a wonderful movie. I'm having this beautiful, peaceful moment of this movie of all of these lovely things happening. And that's my experience of what's going on here. My body is moving smoothly, and I'm aware of that. And I'm aware of a slight pain in my upper shoulder. And, I'm just enjoying walking the dog. Now, somebody over there might think that I'm casing the joint. They might see a sinister person. And so in their movie, this is absolutely, I am absolutely that person. You bet. That's who I am. But that's not all I am. That's just what you made me into being, or that person made me into being. That's what they wanted me to be. So I'm going to be that to the best of my ability, and I'm still going to walk the dog and enjoy what I'm doing. Because walking the dog and enjoying what I'm doing is what I'm doing. I see a guy over there looking at me, and well, I'll wave. Why? Because I'm having a good day. I'm enjoying myself. I wave. How you doing? He puffs up his face and slams the door. Okay. Well, that's just part of the script. Apparently, that was just for added effect for some reason in the script of my movie that I'm improvising in. Now, I'm an actor in your movie, and I know this, right? And I think I've just said it. That's why I say I'm nobody. I don't. In the story of my life, the movie that I watch, talking back about some of the earlier parts that happened to the carrier, the forgotten bit of the awareness of the universe that has coalesced into this shape, and upon which all other actors play off of, right? Who I am, I'm coming to find out, is this very loose set of ways of being. I don't know how to describe that. That occasionally has a thought that says, huh, I want to go down and see my grandkids in Vegas. My body, my ego, just kind of, so that which carries my awareness looks around at things and says, well, this is how it's done. And it automatically gets everything going and it does its thing. And I sit here and watch it watch it do its thing. And it's like the very entertaining movie, because to me, I get to feel the senses of the body. I've never had a body. As far as I know, I haven't had a body before. This thing's a really amazing little instrument. Yeah, check it out. And I've never had a nervous system before. I mean, who knew that pain could be so entertaining? I my mom drove me to the hospital a few years ago. I was having an impacted bowel, and those of you who know what that is it's a very, very painful experience. For me, it was right here. I don't know about you, but it was right here for me, and it hurt so bad that I had to moan. And I was having such fun with the fact that I had to moan. I couldn't stop the moan. I kept trying. There was just no way I could stop the moan. And I'm just having an absolute blast with the fact that I couldn't stop moaning because of the pain. It was really hilarious. And so all the way to the hospital, I'd go, oh, oh, oh. Yep. Entertaining as hell, man. I'm telling you. From this point of view, I don't know about your point of view, but it's a blast. I bet your movie's a very immersive one, isn't it? Yeah. About 12 years ago, this is because I don't have a plan. I don't actually plan out what's going to happen. I didn't plan out this talk. Um, I didn't plan out my day. I didn't plan out my future or any of that jazz. I did at some point. The before I found out that I'm the awareness, that I'm the spirit, not the ego. Um, Me as the ego had all kinds of plans and did all kinds of just like everybody else. And there's no difference between the two. Only now I'm conscious of it. I let the ego take control occasionally, just because why not? give it some exercise. It's like walking the dog. And so I hope that one comes back. Oh, it will. It's right there somewhere. Right there. In the meantime, I'll see if something else will come up. Huh. Maybe I'll pause this, go back and think about it. Oh, I got it. I don't plan stuff, right? Very light plans. I hold my plans very, very lightly. I hardly ever give promises to be somewhere. Some people might think I'm flighty for that, and that's okay. That's the part I play in their life. And I hope everybody knows that I mean them, and no one disrespect. I mean, everybody's got their own movie going on, and we're all the same thing. We are all forgotten bits of the mist that is the universal awareness. And within that forgotten bit is a point of awareness, which is the one source, that which is all things, which is the awareness of everything, the universe. And 42. So I went to, about 12 years ago, I went to Lake Havasu City. And I was on my way to stay at the London Bridge Resort, which was a gift from a friend of mine that had something to do with her timeshare. And now I had never been there, and so I thought, well, it's a nice place. It looked like it fit the needs as far as I had no money, so I figured, well, I was going to have to work while I stayed there, meaning to say I'd have to twist balloons in order to eat while I was staying at this fancy resort, what I thought was a fancy resort. And so I rode into town on a motorcycle that had just been given to me by a stranger that I had twisted a balloon for at a Golden Corral restaurant in LA 5 days before. Right? Man gave me this Goldwing motorcycle. And I was living on a much smaller motorcycle at the time, so he stored that one until I could sell it, and I sold it to the first person that I asked for $1,000. I don't know if he ever wrote it though. But anyway, so I get to the Lake Havasu City, and now I'm a dance teacher, right? I teach ballroom and social style dancing. That's one of the roles that I play. And that's the thing I like to do. I can't even say that it's a role. It's just something I like to do. I like to ballroom dance. It's fun. And I get to hold strange women in my arms at night. What guy wouldn't like that, right? And, well, I can think of a few, but that's okay with me. It's their thing, It's their movie. I don't care. I hope they're being entertained. I'll be me all the way through. And so anyway, I'm here in this new town that I've never been in before, staying at a fancy resort for free, given to me out of love. And I am dancing around with all these different women that I had just met. Literally, excuse me, would you like to dance? Just met them. I find out their name on the dance floor. And in one 3-day period, I love this type of stuff. It happens all the time. In one 3-day period, I was invited to kayak underneath the London Bridge. London Bridge is falling down. Yes, that one, which is now in Arizona. And so I kayaked underneath it with a beautiful blonde woman who was an amazing dance partner and a great friend. And the next day, I participated in a world record line dance on the bridge event where we danced. I don't remember the first line dance, but the second one was the electric slide. And a dance teacher, I loved the electric slide. I played the whole time through. It was awesome. And then the following day, I flew over the London Bridge in a private plane by a guy that looked, oh, I wish I could remember his name right now. He's a cowboy, plays on, he's typecast. He has a mustache, big white mustache that comes down like this, and he's always a very upright and gentle man, and he's that kind of guy. And so I'd met Tony. He's like 74 or something like that, and he owns this little plane, and we're flying over the London Bridge. And Tony and I had this wonderful friendship for quite some time, and I still count him as my friend, even though we seem to be a little distant. And I think that's mostly from my side. Well, my script was a little messed up at one point, so. Well, it wasn't messed up. It was just, that was the script. It's what happened. Hi, ego. But I didn't plan any of that stuff. I had this spirit kind of directed me, maybe in the form of ego, maybe not, I don't know, doesn't matter, to go somewhere and see what happens. So I did. I went somewhere and I saw what happened. It was pretty darn cool. And in this moment, well, I'm just sitting here waiting to see what happens. And what happens is really darn cool. The vibration of my throat, the fact that the gravity is pulling at my body. It's a little chilly in the air. I have a little pain going up and down the back, right around the spine. I'm talking to this machine that, neat little black thing. And that there is the chaotic version of what seems to me, inside my own experience of this experience, is very, very stable. That awareness, even though it may, the attention may fade or come back or whatever, there's permutations in that, and that's entertaining. That gives flavor to the whole thing. So it doesn't matter what's going on. I mean, it really doesn't matter. And when I say it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that it relatively matters. Yeah, in the story, I don't want to mess up your story. So I'm going to play the part you give me as best I can so that you can keep your story going. I mean, it's the best thing. It's a compassionate thing to do. I don't want to mess up your film, right? So you play your movie, I play my movie, and you're part of my experience. You're part of my movie, and if my attention is on you, then that means you are the star of my show. And I know I said that earlier, whether to you or to somebody else. I did say it earlier. That's not a lie. And it doesn't really matter. Am I high? Yeah, but what am I high on? Ram Dass says everybody has their way of getting high. You can get high on air. Really. It's really cool. So, in any case, I hope you were entertained. I was. I enjoyed feeling those vibrations and hearing a couple of things that came out. That was pretty cool. If you have any thoughts or comments or whatever, go ahead and drop them down below. Don't worry, you can't insult me. My answer to all things that anybody ever says about me is, yes, that is true. I am that, but that's not all I am. I am so much more. So, like, subscribe, whatever. Enjoy your movie.